Fairground worker of Frankfurt. Ellie and Sarah were on a big wheel and taking in the surroundings of Frankfurt, when a flash of light suddenly rushed across them. This caused them to look at it, but they couldn't trace where it had gone. After they got off the big wheel, they saw the flash of light once again, and this time they wouldn't be put off following it. They went all over the fairgrounds until they came to a ride of dodgems, with lights seemed to sit on top of the man that was standing there operating the ride. Ellie said he was giving off some kind of ray of light and unusual energy, but the man just told him that this was his charisma. They'd only been attracted there by his appearance. Sarah instantly disputed the idea, and then pointed out that the light was above his head, but by this point the light was gone, and only empty air remained. The fairground worker gave off a hearty laugh, as he felt that they were embarrassed about the way they seemed to have developed a thing for him. Once again they disputed this idea, but he had his mind on other things and dared them to ride the dodgems, along with a host of others that had all been apparently drawn there by the same light and energy. Ellie and Sarah agreed to go for a ride, and they got inside the dodgems with everyone else that had also shown up. The fairground worker laughed as he prepared to start the ride off. As the dodgems spun around, Sarah and Ellie caught sight of the fairground worker, who was still covered in a flash of light, but then his face changed to a skull. They looked back to see that all the other people now using the dodgems now had skulls for faces. They were seemingly caught up in some kind of death game, and knew that the moment their dodgem was hit they could well meet their end. Ellie yelled out for help and hoped that anyone could hear their cries, as the game of dodgems continued with all the other dodgems forming a circle around them. The fairground worker laughed hysterically in the background as his game of death was reaching its final conclusion, his skull face seemingly growing bigger and scarier with every second that passed by. Sarah closed her eyes as the dodgem rushed towards them. They would seemingly crush everything about them. The skull seemed to look right through them as they prepared for the inevitable impact. Ellie grabbed her scarf and shouted that she didn't believe in demons, and in that moment the dodgems stopped. The fairground worker returned to normal, with all those on the dodgems also looking once again like normal human beings. Ellie and Sarah clambered out of the dodgems looking unsteady on their feet, but safely unharmed from their death game of dodgems. The fairground worker nodded his head at them as they hurried away. They wouldn't be the last to come into contact with the fairground worker of Frankfurt.